Hey, Dax.
What's up, Anderson?
So, what are you afraid of?
Whoa, what are you trying to do here? Are you trying to see if I have any phobias?
No, what do you mean? It's just a normal question. What are you afraid of?
Anderson. You know there's nothing that scares me.
You sure? Like, nothing?
Yep, nothing.
You good, Dax? Afraid of a little power surge?
No, not at all. I'm, just trying to turn the lights back on.
It doesn't look like it. It looks to me like you were afraid just now.
No. I jumped up because it was dark. I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like, what if a camera fell on us? Or what if a light fell on us? You wouldn't want that to happen, right? I guess I was a little jumpy.
All right, but that's exactly what fear is. It's focusing on what bad might happen rather than what is actually happening. Everybody is afraid of something.
Yep, I guess I am afraid of some stuff then.
We all are, but I have good news. God is able to help us overcome our fears. We want to talk to you about the things that you might be afraid of. I'm not talking about things like storms or spiders or the dark. I'm talking about stuff that negatively affects your thinking and your emotions.
Oh, like anxiety about certain things, or being afraid to fail, or being afraid that something bad is always going to happen.
Exactly. So, to kick things off, one way God helps us to overcome our fears is by reminding us that He is always with us. That's why our main point for today is, I won't fear because God is with me.
Fear makes us focus on bad stuff, and we're not able to enjoy God's presence or the good things He has for us.
Before we keep going, what's something that makes you afraid?
Whoa, dude, what are you doing under there?
Don't scare me!
Scare you? What's going on?
I'm afraid.
Afraid of what?
Everything. The dark, spiders, messing up.
Sounds like we need to talk about fear.
Fear? No thanks. I already have enough of it.
Relax, man. Did you know the Bible talks about fear a lot?
How much is a lot?
Like over 300 times.
300? That's like a verse a day for almost a whole year.
Exactly. God knew we'd deal with fear, so He gave us encouragement again and again.
Okay, but what is fear?
Good question. Fear is basically when you focus on the problem instead of God's power.
So it's like when I look at how big that spider is instead of how big God is?
Ooh. Yes. Fear makes problems look huge, and faith reminds us that God is bigger.
But what if I can't stop being afraid?
Well, that's where God steps in. Look, 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but one of power, love, and sound judgment."
So fear's not from God?
God gives peace, not panic. Courage, not chaos.
Whew, that's actually kind of freeing.
Yep, and Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will hold on to you with my righteous right hand."
So since God's with me, I don't need to hide under a blanket anymore?
Nope. Unless you just really like blankets.
No more fear! I'm gonna live in my faith!
That's the spirit.
I'm gonna go fight my fears right now!
Whoa, just don't go pick fights with spiders, okay?
Wait! Ah!
That's why I said don't.
After defeating the Israelites, King Nebuchadnezzar chose certain young men from among them, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, to become his servants. He knew that they worshiped the God of Israel, but Nebuchadnezzar desired all the worship for himself. To ensure that his power was recognized, the king decreed that whenever a certain song was played, every person in his kingdom must bow down and worship a towering golden statue of him. Anyone who refused would be thrown into a blazing, fiery furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were about to face the greatest test of their lives. Would they bow to the king's idol out of fear, or would they trust in the God who was with them? When the song played, the people of Babylon bowed low before the statue, but Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego remained standing. Word quickly reached the king, and Nebuchadnezzar ordered that the three men be brought before him. Standing before the throne, the men boldly declared,
"We will not bow to your statue. Our God is able to save us from the furnace. But even if he does not, we will never bow.
Their courage made the king furious. In his rage, Nebuchadnezzar commanded that the furnace be heated 7 times hotter than usual and ordered his guards to throw the men into the flames. The furnace roared with fire as the men were bound and thrown inside. But when Nebuchadnezzar peered into the flames, he was astonished. The men were walking in the fire, unburned, and with them was a 4th figure, one who looked like the Son of God. Upon seeing this, Nebuchadnezzar ordered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to step out of the furnace. They walked out untouched by the flames, and not even the smell of smoke upon them. Humbled and amazed, Nebuchadnezzar praised God, saying,
"Praise be to the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants."
This story shows us how even in the face of great fear, we can choose to overcome that fear and trust God. Just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood fearlessly before the fire, we too can face impossible situations fearlessly because our God is a good God who is always with us, even in the fire.
When you look at the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, what stands out?
I don't know. Maybe the fact that they were thrown into a furnace and they made it out alive, that kinda, stands out.
That is kinda wild. But what else stands out to you?
Well, the fact that they had the courage to not bow down and worship the king's statue, that was amazing. Me personally, I would have been terrified.
Same, they had to be terrified, but they didn't let their fears change who they worshipped.
They had to be afraid. Who wouldn't be? But they seemed so sure that God was with them.
And remembering that God was with them, like our main point said, is what gave them the power to overcome fear and stay loyal to God.
Their story is so cool, but how can we apply this to our lives?
In the moments when we deal with terrifying situations, we can always be comforted by the fact that regardless of what happens, God is always good and He's right alongside us.
You see, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego teach us that to overcome our fears, we don't need to be anyone special.
We need to recognize what's causing us to be afraid, and then we need to shift our focus.
Right, we don't have to let fear control or consume us. Even in a scary situation, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they all turned their attention to God, and we can do the same.
They knew they weren't strong enough on their own, but they knew that God was with them and in control.
And now, if we choose to put our faith in Jesus, we have the Holy Spirit inside of us, giving us guidance and comfort in every moment.
Exactly. So, guys, focus on God and don't fear because God is with you.
You guys have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.